The code was a landmark and still is a landmark, and since its inception it has been the basis for almost everything else that we have been doing in improved fisheries management.
We are proud of what we have done. It was not an easy job, it was difficult discussion, but I think we've done a very good job, and many countries are having developed their national code of conduct and they apply them, and that's most important for global fisheries.
It's a very strong lever to have when you are advising governments on how they should achieve sustainable fisheries. You have some place where you can refer to these are some basic principles which have been agreed as sustainable.
The code has really enabled us to make those steps internationally for the protection of habitats and the protection of bycatch and incidental catch and things of that nature.
What was created those 15 years ago is still very relevant today. In fact, more relevant today, I'd say, given the increasing global population, the need to try and put in place measures and take actions to ensure that our resources are sustainable.
It's really brought the industry, the management, and the policy community to an appreciation of the value of science and its integral role in the job of making good policy, the job of making good management, and the job of running good fisheries.
El código de conducta para la pesca y la acuicultura responsable es muy importante. En particular tenemos un artículo que se refiere a la acuicultura y que nos está ayudando muchísimo a mejorar la implementación de la acuicultura sustentable en todo el mundo.
Korea is not only adopting the code of conduct, but also positively implementing the code of conduct. So we incorporate the code of conduct in our fisheries management, also fisheries planning, as well as our fisheries basic law.
Basically, it's brought together the international community, both looking at legal frameworks, at policy frameworks, and jointly set out a roadmap to ensure sustainability of fisheries.
With the new developments that we're having in our country, like the booming of tourism and the oil industry and so on, it's really very important to implement the code in terms of integrated coastal development. I mean, you have to look into different ways of using the coastal and marine resources. So I think it's really, it was really a very good step that the world has taken, and for us it's really producing some results.
بحيث أن كل المبادرات لتحسين مستوى وتحسين إمكانية الصيد تنبثق وتعتمد على القرارات التي تم اتخاذها في المدونة للصيد الرشيد.
I think it's a wonderful instrument for that sets out guidelines for countries, regional organizations, NGOs, IGOs. It helps them to see what the global best practices. It pulls all of this together.
For many countries, I think it is felt as something in the background, but it has, in that sense, meant a lot to set the stage of international instrument and cooperation.
There's a hang of a lot of strength in, for example, safety at sea. The code has been a driver in this respect. It also has done the same with the ecosystem approach to fisheries, for example.
Every day I use the Code of Conduct for Responsible Fisheries. It's my companion book for all aspects dealing with technology, socioeconomics, and environmental aspects in fisheries.
Je veux dire, le code a contribué de manière évidente à cet objectif de la FAO.
The code has established the conservation of non-target species and ecosystems at the very heart of fisheries management. The international plans of action and the best practice technical guidelines for seabirds have translated the code into practical action for fishermen on the ground.
El código nos ha servido de mucho en nuestro país. Hemos adoptado la mayoría de sus directrices y se han incorporado en la ley mexicana. Realmente el código cada día ha demostrado ser más útil.
Issues relating to illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing are some of the most important constraints facing the achievement of sustainable fisheries in the world. It's for this reason that these instruments within the framework of the code have been very important.
We look at so many of the different proposals, suggestions, frameworks that are in the code, and they are directly relevant to some of the key things that governments and authorities need to do in order to have functioning and adequate enforcement programs.